Assalamualaikum to Dr. Azhani. My name is Muhammad Ashraf Azmi and my ID number is AA19027. And I will start the presentation with the introduction. Engineering failure and disaster poses the potential to inflict catastrophic consequences, placing human life, infrastructure and the environment at a great risk. Despite the implementation of meticulous planning, construction procedure and quality control measures, unforeseen circumstances can precipitate calamitous events. In the previous decade, several noteworthy instances of engineering failure have unfolded, transpiring either during the construction phase or after the completion of significant structure. The task given to our group is to find example of engineering failure or disaster of some kind, for example, bridge failure, building collapse, man-made slope failure, and so on, preferably that occur in the last 10 years, which occur either during the construction phase, process, or after the construction. The case study that our group refer was located at Gombak and happened on 15 October 2019. The building collapsed because the structure failure during the construction phase and resulting several deaths. My friend will talk about the ethical issue, this lack of professionalism, impact of the tragedy and related acts to our case study.
Good morning, Doctor. I'm Kavi Priya Silvaraja with ID AA19025. So I'm here today to describe how a lack of professionalism may lead to this failure. So first, we see what is professionalism. So it is an application of professional mannerism in conducting duties and tasks assigned. So in the term of professionalism, an engineer is expected to be honest and sincere in dealing with their company, client, public, and also fellow engineers. This is because engineers have the ability of making crucial decisions and affirmations regarding the project that they are working on. In common, construction projects should be handled diligently as it encompasses public health and safety. It should be planned well and the execution of the project flow should be neat to avoid any circumstances which may lead to discomfort of any party. In that context, lack of professionalism could be one of the main reasons of the building failure mentioned in this report. So we will go one by one for the points here. So for the first point here, organization, the engineer should be well organized to ensure that the construction project meet its requirement and specifications. To make that, the engineer should practice effective site inspections and maintain a proper record of jobs assigned. Second one is level-headedness. So being sensible and able to make intelligent decisions can be considered as a part of professionalism in engineering. An engineer should be able to think of the consequences before deciding anything to ensure that the decision to be made is safe and not biased. Third one is thoroughness. An engineer should always be conscious of the ongoing project as well as the updates and consequences of the project. Number 4 is dedication. To complete a project work successfully, the engineer involved in the project should dedicate his time and offer full commitment towards the project. The engineer should not commit himself or herself on many projects at a time to prevent any possible problems. Next point is attentiveness to details. So in general, an engineer should have a sharp view on all portions of the project, no matter how small the task or job is. This is to ensure that all segments of the construction cycle is fully analyzed and thoroughly examined. Number 6 is promptness. To submit a project on time, the engineer should be able to complete the job without any delay. The project has to construct as per the specification, and at the same time, it should not drag the time which was scheduled earlier. And number 7 is taking pride in their profession. Taking pride is basically a professional act which suits every sector. Specifically in engineering, the engineer should take pride of his or her own work to provide a standard performance throughout the construction process. In this context, lack of professionalism could be a major issue which led to the failure. The parties involved in this project work should have prioritized professionalism over any other factor. The term of lack of professionalism can also be defined as lack of organization, lack of level-headedness, lack of thoroughness, lack of dedication, lack of detailed orientation as mentioned above. Lack of professionalism simply can cause the project to deteriorate by lowering the quality of the project. As per the term lack of professionalism, the engineers involved in this project might be inattentive to planning and construction work. The reason behind the collapse was stated as weak structure design, which is considered as a crucial factor to be pondered. The engineer might not be aware of the design specification, as well as they might not have done a thorough inspection on their details before starting the project. Construction projects are being conducted in order to enhance the economic growth in our country. Buildings should have built based on the accurate specification with superior quality under the professional engineer's supervision. To provide buildings with better quality, it is important to prioritize professionalism in construction. Thank you.
My name is Nurdamia Shaira binti Zulkifli. My ID number is AA19033. My part is talking about the ethical issue. Okay, first issue is poor quality control. Construction company that the priorities profit over quality control compromise the safety of the building. Ethical consideration such as ensuring proper inspection procedure and using high quality material may be neglected in the favor of the cost-cutting measure. This can result in substandard workmanship, insufficient structural reinforcement, or the use of the low-quality material increase the risk of the building failure. Next is conflict of interest. Conflict of interest can arise when the professional involved in the building process have the personal relationship or the financial interest that may compromise their ethical judgment. For the instance, a contractor might choose cheaper but less reliable material from a supplier they have a personal connection with. Disregarding the long-term implication for the building stability and safety. Then, unsafe work practice. Construction companies have an ethical responsibility to prioritize the safety of the workers and the public. Failure to provide proper training, enforce safety protocol, or supply adequate protective equipment compromise the well-being of those involved in the construction process. Accidents resulting from the unsafe work practice can be weaken the building structure integrity and contribute to its failure. Lastly, environment impact. Ethical consideration extend to environment sustainability in the construction. Violating environmental regulations such as improper waste disposal or the excessive resource consumption can lead to the environment damage that weakens the building's foundation or structure element. This can significantly increase the risk of the building failure over time. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and very good day. My name is Nur Syafiqah Diana and my ID number is AA19026. Today I would like to present about the impact of the tragedy on the environment. Failure of a building is the thing that all the contractors want to prevent. Failure of a building has negative impact in the construction industry, especially in the environmental. The common impact for this tragedy on the environment is pollution, waste management or pollution, environmental damage, and so on. There are two types of pollution involved. We can say this tragedy contributes to air pollution and noise pollution. As for the air pollution, we can say that the dust from the building collapse contributes to the air pollution. Since the dust came from the brick, cement, and building compartment, it will lead the workers into difficult breath and may lead into serious conditions. Therefore, the building collapse has an impact on the environment. Next is the noise pollution. We know that a variety of equipment will be used at construction sites, especially heavy equipment. Excessive amount of the sound will make uncomfortable to people who live near the construction site. Same goes for the workers. Hearing the loud noise too long is not good for them. The workers will experience high blood pressure, hearing loss, and varying level of stress. Next, the impact of the tragedy is the production of waste will increase. Therefore, this will relate to the waste management. As we know, building collapse will increase the amount of waste since the materials cannot be used again. The material can be broken, not following the initial size, and so on. Scaffolding and wall stick are example materials that cannot be used. We will see the trash heap around the construction site, which will give negative feedback to the people. Next, the collapsed building will provide hideout for robbers and balloons since the building is not completely done. Lastly, the collapse of the buildings will cause environmental damage. As we know, when a building collapses, it puts pressure on the soil. Therefore, crack of soil and settlement will produce based on the action. Besides, all the nation will be destroyed due to the building collapse. That's all from me. Thank you.
My name is Fatima Makdon. My ID is AA19027. I will explain about related act for Gombak building collapse. First is duty of contractor. Section 34B, Clause 1B and 1C state that the contractor should ensure with the provision any regulation, term and condition imposed by lembaga and any other written law. And then the contractor should ensure the safety of the building and the construction work whether during or post-construction. From the figure 1, we can see the contractor careless in supervised type are used for the scaffolding that cause collapse because the scaffolding can't support the formwork and the beam during the construction. According to 34B, Clause 2A and 2B, the contractor shall ensure that any building or construction work are being carried out or have been carried out in such manner as not causing or threatening to cause a risk of injury to any person or damage to any property. The contractor shall ensure the safety of the building and the construction work not causing on or threatening to cause a total or partial collapse, which is the building in respect of which its construction work are being carried out or have been carried out, or any other building, road or natural formation which is opposite, parallel, adjacent or any close proximity to any part of the building or construction work. From accident in figure 1, the contractor was fined 200,000 because not ensure the safety of the building during the construction work, which is use unsuitable scaffolding to support the structure. Next, duty of lembaga. According to section 34C, clause 2A, 2B, 2C and 2D, lembaga may, for purpose of public safety or preventing any situation referred to in subsection 34B, clause 2, issue a written directive to the contractor of the construction work for the contractor, which is to immediately stop the construction work to carry out or courses to be carried out that are contracted costs, such inspection as the lembaga specified. Execute or cost to be executed at the contractor cost such as construction work as a lembaga may specify. To demolish or cost to be demolished at the contractor cost the defective building or any failure or other event occurring in respect of which the construction work are being carried out or have been carried out or any part thereof, and to remove any debris resulting from demolition or to revoke or suspend registration of the contractor granted under this act. This act explains the lembaga will do anything for public safety, worker safety, if the construction dangerous to others without thinking losses contractor will face. Under section 34B clause 1, any contractor who breach his duty under paragraph 34B clause 1C and which breach result in death shall be guilty of an offence and shall on conviction be liable to be fined not exceeding 500,000 ringgit or to imprisonment for a term not exceeding 2 years or to both. From accident in figure 1, the contractor are fined 200,000 because not ensure the safety of worker which is caused death and injured during the construction. Next, accreditation and certification of construction site supervisor and skilled construction worker. Under Section 33A, Clause 1, no construction site of supervisor or skilled construction worker shall be involved or engaged or undertake to be involved or engaged as a construction site supervisor or skilled construction worker unless he is accredited and certified by lembaga and hold a valid certificate issued by the lembaga under this Act. This Act want to make sure the construction supervised handled by qualification person to avoid worse accident. For example, accident in Figure 1 happen because scaffolding are used not suitable and not follow the standard that cause collapse. Next is lembaga to certify construction material. Under Section 33C, Clause 1, the lembaga shall, in the manner determined by the lembaga, certify the construction material used in the construction industry and specify in the fourth schedule in accordance with standards specified in that schedule. From the accident Figure 1, the contractor not follow scaffolding standard which is in MS 1462 ratio 1999 approved by lembaga that caused collapse during the construction.
To conclude our report, engineering failure and disaster have the potential to cause catastrophic consequences, posing risk to human life, infrastructure, and the environment. Recent incidents of failure in bridge construction, building collapse, and man-made slope failure highlight the importance of comprehensive engineering analysis, stringent quality assurance, and follow industry standard. The incident that happened near the Gombak LRT terminus serve as a tragic example of the consequences that can arise from negligence in ensuring the safety of construction site. The Malaysian Construction Industry Development Board, also known as CIDB, Act 520, play a crucial role in regulating the construction industry and holding the contractor accountable for their duties. The incident underlined the need for continuous improvement, comprehensive risk assessment, and perpetual monitoring to maintain the highest standard in construction and mitigate the potential for disaster. For our group report, thank you.